Welcome back to our channel, Valuable Coins Hub. These rare states $quarter coins make people rich. Let's find out why. Don't miss out one of these who know a single coin make you rich. Number 1. Today, we're diving into the world of state quarters. And this time, it's the 1999 New Jersey $quarter. Believe it or not, this coin has an incredible story, beautiful design, and in some cases, it can be worth far more than just 25 cents. Collectors all around the world are hunting for rare examples of this quarter. And if you've got one in your pocket or in an old coin jar at home, you might be holding something very special. The New Jersey State Quarter was the third release in the famous 50 State Quarters program, which kicked off in 1999 and ran for 10 years. These coins were designed to celebrate each state's history and heritage, and they quickly became some of the most collected coins in U.S. history. Millions of people started saving them, trading them, and hunting for rare versions. And among all those coins, the 1999 New Jersey Quarter stands out with a design that captures one of the most legendary moments in American history. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see a beautiful scene of General George Washington leading his troops across the Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. This design is inspired by the famous painting, Washington Crossing the Delaware. It's a bold image, showing strength, leadership, and determination at a critical moment for America's freedom. When you flip the coin to the front, you see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the nation's first president, that we all recognize. Together, the obverse and reverse tell a story of courage and independence, making this coin a piece of history that fits right in your pocket. Now, what makes the 1999 New Jersey Quarter especially exciting for collectors isn't just the design, but the rarity of certain versions and errors. This quarter was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver coins were struck for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions in both clad and silver. Those silver proofs are always a collector favorite, because not only are they shinier and more detailed, but they're made of 90% silver, giving them intrinsic value as well as collector value. But beyond mint marks and proofs, what really drives collectors wild are the errors. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter has several known minting mistakes, and some of these can make the coin worth serious money. For example, some quarters show dramatic die cracks, extra metal lines that run across the design. Others have off-center strikes, where part of the design is cut off the coin entirely. There are also double die errors, where details like the lettering or parts of the design appear doubled, making the coin instantly more desirable. One of the most talked about errors on state quarters in general is the wrong planchet strike. This happens when a state quarter design is accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal blank, like a dime or even a foreign coin blank. If you ever come across a 1999 New Jersey Quarter that looks thinner, lighter, or even different in color, you could have one of these extraordinary errors on your hands. Coins like that are incredibly rare, and collectors will pay thousands of dollars to add them to their collections. Condition is another key factor that makes this coin valuable. A New Jersey Quarter that's been in circulation, scratched up and worn, might still only be worth face value. But if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition with all of its details sharp and clear, the value jumps significantly. Graded examples, especially those in mint state 67 or higher, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars because the higher the grade, the fewer coins exist in that perfect condition. The beauty of the New Jersey Quarter is that it appeals to all kinds of collectors. Some love the historical design, others chase after rare mint errors, and many enjoy the thrill of finding high-grade coins hidden among everyday change. That's what makes the 1999 State Quarter so exciting, because even though millions were made, the rare versions are hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone lucky enough to check their pocket change carefully. So now the big question: what's the real value of the 1999 New Jersey $quarter? Well, while most are worth just face value, certain error coins, proof silver versions, and high-grade mint state examples have sold at auction for as much as $3,000. That's right, a simple 25-cent coin turning into $3,000. So check your change, dig through those jars, and don't underestimate the coins sitting quietly in your collection. The 1999 New Jersey Quarter might look like ordinary pocket change, but in the right condition or with the right error, it could be worth far more than you ever expected. Number 2. We're exploring one of the most patriotic and historically meaningful coins from the America the Beautiful Quarter series. the 2013 Fort McHenry quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another modern quarter, but for those of us who love coins, there's so much more to it. It tells a story of courage, resilience, and American pride, and for collectors, certain versions of this coin can be worth much more than just 25 cents. The Fort McHenry quarter was released in 2013 as part of the America the Beautiful series, a program that ran from 2010 to 2021. This series celebrated national parks, historic landmarks, and places of beauty across all 50 states, plus U.S. territories. And Fort McHenry's place in that series was no accident. It's one of the most symbolic and emotional sites in the country. Fort McHenry is located in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's forever tied to the War of 1812. During that conflict, the fort withstood a relentless British bombardment in September of 1814. Against all odds, the American defenders held their ground, and when the smoke cleared, the flag was still flying proudly above the fort. That incredible sight inspired Francis Scott Key to write the poem that would later become the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. So, when you hold this quarter in your hand, you're not just holding money. You're holding a piece of that enduring story of American strength and spirit. The design of the 2013 Fort McHenry quarter captures this moment beautifully. On the reverse side, you'll see the fort, with the flag waving proudly in the sky, illuminated by a dramatic burst of fireworks. It's a breathtaking tribute, one that symbolizes both the resilience of the nation and the joy of victory. The obverse side, of course, carries the classic portrait of George Washington, a design we've all come to know and love. Together, the coin speaks of history, sacrifice, and pride. But collectors aren't only drawn to the meaning behind this coin. They're also fascinated by rarity and condition. The Fort McHenry quarter was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver produced the circulation coins, while San Francisco released both clad and silver-proof versions. And it's those San Francisco proofs, especially the silver ones, that catch a lot of attention. Their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details make them highly collectible, especially when graded in perfect condition. Now let's talk about what makes this quarter even more exciting: the errors and special varieties. Mint errors on Fort McHenry quarters can range from subtle to dramatic, and they can make an ordinary coin suddenly very rare. Some errors include off-center strikes, where part of the design is cut off, or coins struck with die cracks that leave extra raised lines across the surface. Double die errors, where the details in the lettering or parts of the design appear doubled, are also highly desirable among collectors. There have even been cases where coins were struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a Fort McHenry design struck on a blank intended for a nickel or dime. Suddenly you've got a one-of-a-kind piece. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare, but when they surface, they fetch impressive prices because no two are alike. Condition also plays a huge role in value. A Fort McHenry quarter pulled from circulation, with scratches and wear, is usually only worth face value. But if you find one in pristine mint state, especially one graded MS-67 or higher, the value can climb quickly. Collectors are willing to pay strong premiums for coins that are nearly flawless, because very few survive without blemishes. And when you add a rare error into the mix, the price can reach surprising levels. The thrill for collectors is that these coins are still out there. You might find one in pocket change, in a bank roll, or sitting quietly in your collection without realizing it. That's what makes the Fort McHenry quarter so fascinating. It's modern, it's meaningful, and it still holds the possibility of a big surprise. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. While most 2013 Fort McHenry quarters are only worth 25 cents, the rarest ones in top condition or with dramatic errors have sold at auction for as much as $1,500. That's right, a modern quarter turning into $1,500, just because of its rarity, condition, or error. So, the next time you come across a Fort McHenry quarter, don't dismiss it as ordinary change. Take a closer look, check the details, and who knows, you might have a small treasure in your hands. Number 3, we're looking at one of the more fascinating coins from the America the Beautiful series, the United States quarter dollar from 2015 honoring Kisatchie National Forest in Louisiana. At first glance, this coin may seem like just another modern quarter, but don't be fooled. because some versions of this coin are extremely rare, and certain errors can make it worth far more than you would ever expect. So listen closely, because if you have one of these in your collection or even in your change, you could be holding a hidden gem. The Kisatchie quarter was released in 2015 as part of the America the Beautiful program, which celebrated national parks and historic places across the country. It was actually the second design issued that year and represents Louisiana's natural beauty. Kisatchie is a massive national forest, covering more than 600,000 acres of land filled with pines, wildlife, rivers, and history. It's a place where nature thrives, and the U.S. Mint captured that beauty in a single coin. The design on the reverse of this quarter is breathtaking. It features a wild turkey in flight, wings spread wide, soaring above the tall pines of Kisatchie. The image is both majestic and symbolic, representing freedom, resilience, and the untouched wilderness of Louisiana. It's one of those designs that immediately stands out, even among all the coins in the America the Beautiful series. Flip the coin over, and of course you see the familiar portrait of George Washington, but it's that flying turkey that makes this coin unforgettable. Now, let's get into what makes the Kisatchie quarter so special to collectors. The coin was struck at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia and Denver produced circulation strikes, while San Francisco released clad and silver-proof versions. Those proof coins, especially the silver proofs, are highly desirable because of their sharp details and polished finish. Silver-proof Kisatchie quarters are not only beautiful, but they also carry intrinsic silver value, which makes them even more collectible. But what really excites collectors are the errors, and the Kisatchie quarter has some interesting ones. Some examples have been found with off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because it wasn't properly aligned during minting. Others show die cracks, where raised lines appear across the coin from damage to the die. There are even cases of double die errors where certain details, like the lettering or parts of the turkey, look doubled under magnification. Each of these errors adds rarity and uniqueness to the coin, and that's what drives up value. And here's something every collector should know: wrong planchet errors. Imagine a Kisatchie quarter accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These mistakes are incredibly rare, but when they're discovered, collectors go absolutely crazy for them, because no two are exactly alike. Finding one of these is like striking gold in the world of coin collecting. Condition, as always, plays a massive role in value. A Kisatchie quarter that's been in circulation, scratched, or worn is usually only worth its face value. But an uncirculated piece with sharp, clean details is worth much more. Graded examples in mint state 67 or higher are especially prized, and when combined with a dramatic error, they can bring in some jaw-dropping prices. The beauty of this coin is that it connects history, nature, and collecting all in one. It's modern, but it already has a strong appeal among collectors. Many people save them from circulation because of the stunning design, but the rarest ones, whether silver proofs, error coins, or high-grade mint state examples, are the ones that really shine in the market today. Now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is the 2015 Kisatchie quarter actually worth? While most examples are only worth 25 cents, rare proof silver versions and coins with major errors in high grades have sold at auction for as much as $1,000. That's right, a modern quarter turning into $1,000 just because of its rarity and condition. So don't ignore this coin the next time you come across it. Take a closer look, check the mint mark, and examine it for errors. You never know, you might be holding a small treasure from Louisiana's forests that could turn into something much bigger. Number 4, we're exploring one of the most eye-catching coins from the America the Beautiful series, the 2020 United States quarter dollar from Salt River Bay. At first glance, this quarter looks like an ordinary piece of change, but when you know its story, its symbolism, and the rare errors that make some of these coins valuable, you'll realize just how special it really is. If you're a coin lover or treasure hunter, listen closely, because this is one quarter you don't want to overlook. The Salt River Bay quarter was released in 2020 as part of the America the Beautiful program, which ran from 2010 to 2021 and highlighted national parks, forests, and historical places across the country. This particular coin represents the Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's a place of both rich history and natural beauty, and the coin brings that story to life in stunning detail. The reverse design shows a red mangrove tree rising tall from the water, its roots spreading wide and anchoring deep beneath the surface. This isn't just a pretty image, it's powerful symbolism. Mangrove trees represent resilience and survival, able to thrive where land and water meet. They're also essential to the ecosystem, protecting shorelines and supporting marine life. The design captures that strength and harmony beautifully, making this quarter a tiny work of art. On the obverse, of course, we see the familiar portrait of George Washington, but it's that mangrove tree that makes the Salt River Bay quarter unforgettable. Now, what makes this coin exciting to collectors isn't just the design, but the rarity of certain versions and the errors that slipped through the minting process. These coins were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes, while San Francisco made proof versions, including both clad and silver proofs. The silver proofs are always favorites among collectors because of their beauty and their intrinsic silver value. But let's talk about errors, the kind of mistakes that can turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's prize. Some Salt River Bay quarters have been found with striking errors, such as off-center strikes, where part of the design is cut off the coin, and die cracks, which create raised lines across the surface. Other exciting finds include double dies, where the details, like the roots of the tree or the lettering, appear doubled under magnification. These double details are rare and highly sought after, because no two errors are exactly the same point. One of the most fascinating types of errors collectors look for is when the coin is struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a Salt River Bay design struck on a dime blank or on another foreign coin blank. It creates a one-of-a-kind rarity. These mistakes are almost impossible to predict, but when they show up in auctions, they bring in huge bids because of their uniqueness. Condition also plays a massive role in value. A coin that has been used in circulation with scratches and wear usually won't be worth more than its face value. But a coin in uncirculated condition, with all of its details sharp and flawless, can bring in a premium. And when these coins are graded at mint state 67 or higher, their value jumps dramatically. Combine that with a rare error, and suddenly you're looking at a coin worth far more than 25 cents. What makes the 2020 Salt River Bay quarter especially interesting is that it was released in the same year the world faced enormous challenges. And yet here's a coin showing resilience, strength, and survival through its mangrove design. That connection gives the coin an even deeper emotional appeal for collectors who see it not only as money but as a piece of history from a year nobody will forget. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. While most 2020 Salt River Bay quarters are worth only face value, the rarest examples in high grades or with dramatic minting errors have sold at auction for as much as $2,500. That's right, a modern quarter turning into $2,500 simply because of rarity, condition, or error. So the next time you see one of these coins in your change, don't just pass it along. Take a closer look, examine the details, and see if you've got something special. You never know when that ordinary-looking quarter could be a hidden treasure. Number 5 and last rare coin, we are going to talk about the United States quarter dollar from the year 2013, the Perry's Victory and International Peace Memorial Quarter. A coin that not only tells the story of American history but also carries hidden treasures for collectors who know what to look for. The Perry's Victory Quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, and it honors an important moment in U.S. history, the War of 1812 and the famous Battle of Lake Erie. On the reverse, it shows the statue of Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, the hero of the battle, standing tall and looking out at the Peace Memorial in the background. This design isn't just beautiful, it is symbolic of both sacrifice and peace, making the coin instantly meaningful to anyone who appreciates American history. But collectors don't just love coins for their history, they love them for rarity, errors, and condition. And let me tell you, the Perry's Victory Quarter has more to it than meets the eye. While millions of these coins were struck for circulation at Philadelphia and Denver, along with special collector strikes at San Francisco, not all of them are equal. Some carry mistakes from the minting process, and these errors can make an ordinary 25-cent coin worth serious money. One of the most exciting errors found on the Perry's Victory Quarter is the doubled die. Imagine looking at the coin and seeing doubled lettering on the words, or even slight doubling on parts of the design like the statue or the memorial lines. That's not damage, it's a mint error, and errors like that can turn a face value coin into a collectible treasure. Another rarity that excites collectors is off-center strikes. These happen when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during minting, and you'll see part of the design missing or shifted to the side. The more dramatic the shift, the more valuable the coin becomes. Even smaller misalignments can fetch a premium from those who specialize in collecting unique error coins. And then we have die breaks and cuds, where extra metal shows up on the coin due to cracks in the die used to strike it. These flaws might look like random blobs of metal to some, but to a coin collector, they are signs of rarity and uniqueness. Every single die break is different, meaning no two coins are exactly alike. Collectors also pay close attention to condition. A Perry's Victory Quarter that has been heavily circulated might only be worth face value, but one that shines in pristine condition, graded at the top levels like MS67 or MS68 by professional grading services, can sell for much, much more than you would expect. High-grade examples are always in demand, because not many survive without scratches, dings, or wear. Now here's something interesting: San Francisco struck proof and silver versions of this coin as well. The silver proofs, with their mirror-like finish and sharp detail, are particularly beautiful and valuable. While these were originally sold to collectors, they now carry premiums in today's market, especially in perfect condition. So why do collectors chase after the Perry's Victory Quarter? It's not only because of the stunning design and rich historical significance, but also because it is part of a huge series that many collectors try to complete. Having every America the Beautiful Quarter means you can't miss this one, and those rare errors or high-grade examples make it even more exciting to search for. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: the value. Most Perry's Victory Quarters you find in your change will only be worth 25 cents. But the rare ones, the ones with mint errors or the ones in pristine uncirculated condition, can bring in serious money. Some high-grade examples and rare error coins have sold at auction for well over $1,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that originally cost only a quarter has crossed into the thousands in the real market. So the next time you see a 2013 quarter with Perry's statue on it, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, check for doubling, off-centers, die breaks, or simply examine the condition. That small piece of change could be a hidden gem waiting in your pocket. And that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Perry's Victory Quarter from 2013, its history, its hidden errors, and of course, its potential value. Coins like this remind us that treasures are often hiding right in plain sight, waiting for collectors like you to discover them. If you loved this video, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment about your favorite coin find, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories and values. Who knows? The next coin we talk about might already be sitting in your pocket right now.